So all I hear is how Triple G is a fake, a fraud, and now he's even a coward and a pussy. But these guys are not explaining their definition of pussy. If a pussy is someone who doesn't take the toughest fights possible, then by definition, Mayweather would be the biggest pussy of all times. Now Mayweather is a guy that anyone will fight. There is no risk of getting hurt. You'll get a decent payday and some great exposure. For the most part, all upside. Now, if you were speaking about being a pussy in the ring, again, Mayweather has to be at the top of the list, as well as others like Andre Ward, maybe Keith Thurman, again, using your definition of a coward, pussy, whatever. Now, obviously, Triple G has a killer be killed attitude. He's knocked out 22 straight professional fighters. Now, just by example, compare that to Andre Ward. Now, me personally, I like Andre Ward. Man, I honestly think he is a classy guy outside of the ring, and obviously a top pound for pound inside the ring. I mean, there's a lot of discussion where he fits in the list, but he's definitely a phenomenal boxer. But anyway, according to your definition of pussy or coward, I mean, Ward has to be at the top of the list also. Take, for example, Ward's last fight against Sullivan Barrera. Barrera, for the most part, was an 8-round fighter. Prior to Ward, he's never been in a fight that went past 8 rounds. Furthermore, Barrera was fighting in Ward's backyard and theoretically in the biggest fight of his career. The dude probably didn't sleep the entire week, let alone the night before the fight. He had a ton of pressure on him, and even at that, Ward couldn't stop the guy. Now, according to your definition, not mine, if Ward wasn't a pussy, he should have been able to take Barrera into deep waters in the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th rounds and get the finish. I mean, Barrera's never made it to those rounds. Then there was the infamous 3rd round knockdown. To me, it was almost an off-balance hit or even a flash knockdown. But to most, at least to most of Ward's fans, it was a destructive blow that hurt Barrera so bad he'll never be the same again. If that's the case, shouldn't Ward have went in for the kill? Shouldn't he have seen the blood and got savage? Or was he a pussy or a coward according to your definition? I mean, if Triple G had a guy hurt in the 3rd round, you think he wouldn't have went for the kill with 22 consecutive stoppages? Now, we all know what's up with Mayweather. He enters the ring, winks at Kenny Bayless, winks at the judges, lets him know to expect a nice package on Christmas, then pot shot and runs for 12 rounds. Is that a pussy or a coward according to your definition? Or is destroying 22 consecutive competitors a pussy? Then there's Keith one-time Thurman. Now, honestly, the welterweight division is one of my favorites, and Keith is definitely deserving of being recognized as one of the top 147 pounders. But according to your definition, is he a coward or a pussy? I mean, he has a one-time nickname, and he stopped one of his last 4 opponents. And outside of Porter, who he arguably lost to, these have not been top welterweights. So anyway, I need some clarification on the definition of pussy and coward. Now, I also hear that Triple G is a fraud because of the fact that he's fighting the welterweight Kell Brook next. But don't get me wrong, I don't think anyone, including Triple G fans, really had this as a top matchup on their list. But I mean, people can't seriously think there are no contingencies in boxing. I mean, boxing is a multi-billion-dollar business. Do you honestly think these promoters put all their eggs into one basket with no contingency plan? I can assure you there are plans A, B, C, D, especially when you're talking about Triple G. I mean, do you really think that if Triple G wanted to fight Eubanks Jr. in September of 2016, they put all their trust in that, and then if it doesn't happen, they'll just say, okay, we'll just wait a year or two, just give us a call when you're ready? I mean, get the fuck out of here. These are guys, these guys aren't going to try and stop fighting. Promoters are constantly trying to put together a fight that they can sell. If they want Triple G to fight in September of 2016, they'll put that fight together. Most likely working on several potential deals simultaneously. They are prepared for someone like Eubanks Jr. to run his mouth, then refuse to sign the contract, or someone else who polishes up the belt, says he doesn't fuck around, then hands over that polished belt to Triple G. I mean, get real. These are professionals in a professional business. If they want to put together a fight in September, they're going to reach out to multiple fighters and see who will sign the contract. It's not Triple G's fault Eubanks Jr. refused to sign the contract. I mean, basically, they put Eubanks Jr. and his father on notice, letting them know if he wants to puss out, there's another Englishman ready to fight. So anyway, please let me know your definition of coward and pussy and how you apply that to other fighters of this era. Thanks for listening.